Welcome to Addicted to Real Estate TV. On today's episode, I'm going to talk about 5 major mistakes that real estate investors make. If you're serious about being an investor, you better get busy watching this episode.
To say you gotta know somebody, or know somebody to get somewhere these days. To say you know that's alright, yeah that's alright. Cause you know that's alright with me. Yeah, you know that's alright, yeah that's alright. Cause you know that's alright.
Hi, I'm Phil Falcone, your host of Addicted to Real Estate TV. Today's episode was sponsored by Realty Mark 100. They provide MLS access to real estate investors in the Philadelphia area for only $59 a month. Nobody does that, okay? Nobody, all right? You got to be a realtor to get MLS access, but not if you're buddies with the guys at Realty Mark 100. Their website is below, their phone number is below. Give them a call. Okay, today I promised to tell you about the 5 major mistakes that real estate investors make. And I don't care if you're a newbie or you've been around and you're a seasoned pro. You still want to learn what these 5 major mistakes are. So let's get started talking about them. The first thing I notice is that real estate investors, they just flat out make bad deals, okay? You can't help yourself because you don't know what the hell you're doing, so you end up screwing up the deals. Most people that I know, one of the major problems that they have when they first get into the business is the only person that they know of who's involved in the real estate business as a full-time individual are realtors. And they typically don't pick a realtor because they're a great realtor or because they happen to be experienced at real estate investing and own properties themselves. No. That's not the criteria that they use to pick the realtor. What they use is they pick a realtor who they happen to know. It's a brother-in-law, a friend of a neighbor's, a cousin, whatever it is, some guy I work with, that kind of story. And then when the deal doesn't work out, they get soured on real estate investing. And what they should be soured on is their entire thought process about how they even chose an individual to help them pick an investment property. It's not that easy that you can just call up somebody who has a real estate license, go out and find an amazing cash-flowing property, and learn all the tips and tricks about how to be a manager, how to make smart decisions, how to what kind of entity you're going to put the property in, and millions of other things that come into play when you're investing in real estate, okay? Making bad deals by just hooking up with somebody who really doesn't do this for a living. What you need if you're going to buy yourself a piece of real estate for investment purposes is you need somebody who's an investor. Hello, people. I'm Phil Falcone. I've been doing this full-time since 1989. I'm the author of the book, Addicted to Real Estate, Why I Can't Stop and Why You Should Start. And this book here is filled up with ideas of how I got started in the business. That's right, I told you how I did it. This is not a how-to book that tells you step-by-step how to be a real estate investor. That's boring. Who wants to read a boring book? I'm not a boring guy. I don't write boring books, okay? I wrote a book about how I did it. So you can stand behind my shoulder and listen to the crazy real estate stories that I went through in my 24 years and share with you these ideas so that you don't make the same mistakes I've made, but maybe you make some of the great successes. You duplicate those successes because you read about them in my book, okay? Let's get on with the 5 ways. Number 2 way that people make mistakes is they don't have an education. So you've got to get an education like anything else in this world you're going to do for a living. If you're going to be serious about it. What happened to all the day traders who bought stock in the 1999 and in summer of 2000 when it went tanked upside down? What happened to those guys? They're all gone. They're all dead and buried, all right? You're going to buy stocks. You want to learn about stocks. You want to talk to people who are experts at it. You want to become an expert at it yourself, and then you want to do it. Same thing with real estate, my man. Same thing with anything you're going to do in life. You got to get an education, right? I'm the kind of person who's out there, and I'm providing all kinds of free information. First of all, there's my book. It's only $20. $20 for over 20 years experience. That's less than $1 a year. You can afford $1 a year to find out what it is that I know. I also have this free web TV show. If this is the first time you're watching it, make sure you go to my website, addictedtorealestate.com. Put your name and email address in so I can send you these free episodes. Another way that I educate people is I have meetings in the Philadelphia area all the time. In the month of January 2013, I've got 3 meetings coming up. One of them is on January 7th, and the title of this meeting is called How to Actually Achieve Your Goals in the Real Estate Business. And I'm going to be holding that meeting at the Franklin Mills Mall in Northeast Philadelphia at the Grand China Buffet. Information about the meeting is below. Or you can go to meetup.com and just look for Addicted to Real Estate, and you'll see the information there. You can sign up for the meeting. Another meeting I'm having a workshop on January 19th on private money, how to raise private money. Some of the info is going to be right here next to me as I'm talking. So you could check it out. January 19th is going to be a workshop. It's a little different from my meetings. When I have a meeting at the Grand China Buffet, it's $20. You come out, you get a full course dinner. So essentially it's a free meeting. And we just talk real estate, networking, get to meet other investors. Great environment for you if you're learning this business. But if you want a little bit more than that, if you want like a workshop where you can seriously learn how to raise private money, we're going to have one on January 19th. Okay, so you got to get an education. Now, it doesn't have to be from me. You can get it from anywhere you want. All right, but I'm a guy giving you a lot of cheap ways. $20 for a book, $20 for a meeting, $99 for a workshop where I teach you a skill that you'll never need to use banks again. Hey, speaking of never using banks, that reminds me of the number 3 mistake that real estate investors make. They use banks, okay? If you hang around serious real estate investors like myself, experienced guys who've been around for decades, who know what they're doing, we all have one thing in common. You know what that is? We don't use banks. Hell no, man. Do you realize when you sign your name to all those thick mortgage papers at settlement, you're essentially signing personally for that asset. You're signing your life away, essentially. If that asset goes belly up, they're going to not only take that asset, but they could come after you and have liens and judgments against your personal property, against your personal residence. They could even take it from you, depending on the circumstances. You have to be very, very careful about what kind of paperwork you sign in such a situation. Experienced investors do not do that. We use private investors, so we don't have to go to a bank. Okay? We're not personally signing for these loans. Now, the private investor is secured. Okay? He's more than secured. If it's a good real estate deal that you put together, maybe it's a $200,000 house and you're only borrowing $130,000 on it. And that $130,000 is secured in a first position mortgage, and that private lender has every right, if you don't perform, if you don't pay that mortgage to him, that he could come and take that property from you. And in many cases, if there's enough equity behind the loan, he almost wants to come and he wants to come and take it from you. It would be the better end of the deal for him. So he almost wants you to not pay him, okay? That's the kind of situation that we put together as experienced real estate investors, where we make sure that our investors are protected. Why? We want to have a relationship with them, and we want them to continue lending on our real estate deals. Plus, my reputation is very important to me. I'm not going to be able to borrow money off of people if I'm going around screwing people, right? Okay? People lend money to people who they know, who they like, who they trust. And I want to be all 3 of those things to an investor. So I give them the particular asset that they're lending on as the security, and only that. Not my personal residence, not everything I built up an entire life, okay, trying to develop for myself. My entire net worth is not at stake for you to lend me money on one piece of real estate deal. All right? The deal sustains itself. That's important. All right. Let's talk about another thing. Another big mistake that real estate investors make. We're on number 4 now. Number 4 is they choose the wrong mentors. Now, it happens to me all the time, and I got to tell you, it drives me crazy, where I'll meet people after they spent $25,000 with some guru, and that guru may have given them the gateway to get into real estate investing, but it just didn't work, because in the end, nobody needs to take that much money from you in order to share with you their ideas, okay? I'm a genuine, real guy, and I'm the kind of guy who's actually doing this for a living. Okay, if I was making $25,000 for every student that came around to me, hell, I'd have so many millions in liquid dollars, I wouldn't need to buy real estate, okay? What I do is I come up with a lot of cheap ways. So I got my $20 book. I got my $20 meeting. I got my $99 workshop. And then I got a product called the Buyer's Briefcase, which is like my high-end product for people who really want to know what I'm all about. It's roughly $14.95 for the whole package. You can even buy it in pieces where you can get like $400 or $500 sections of it. And you can go to my website and check out more about the Buyer's Briefcase, okay? So the point is choosing your mentors wisely. Now, if I'm not your mentor, if I'm not the guy you're going to follow, that's fine. But find somebody who's doing exactly what it is that you want to be doing. Somebody who is exactly where you want to be. All right? And then that's the kind of person you want to follow. It's somebody who's genuine. Okay? My most expensive product is $1,500. Okay? Not even $1,500. All right? And if someone's charging you $25,000 to get some information from them, you better damn sure be careful that you're dealing with a genuine individual here. And the amount of information you're going to get better be amazing. All right, let's keep moving. Number 5. Biggest mistake real estate investors make, number 5. They procrastinate. Okay, they just go to meeting after meeting after meeting. They read book after book after book. They even buy education packages, but they don't do it. Don't be like that, people. Don't be like that. The people who are successful in this business are the guys who go, ready, aim, fire. All right? You got to make it happen. You got to be willing to take shots. And if you're going to make some mistakes, that happens to everybody, okay? Anybody, even me, has made my share of mistakes in this business, okay? If you hang around with the right people, if you have guidance by the right gurus, you're going to be safe, you're going to be protected, and you're going to be successful, all right? So don't procrastinate. Don't be a guy who goes, ready, aim, 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 aim. That doesn't work. Ready, aim, fire, that's the way it works, okay? You can't procrastinate. You got to make moves. You got to have the guts to get out there and do it. And if you make mistakes, you know, it'll cost you some money, but you're going to learn something too, and you're never going to forget it. Once again, people, my meeting is on January 7th, how to actually achieve your goals in the real estate business. And on November 19th, the private money workshop. Very, very important, okay? If you don't know how to raise private money, you go to this workshop. It's going to cost you $99. And I guarantee you at the end of this workshop, you will never go to a bank for a mortgage again. You will never do it. Once you learn how easy it is, and the very little tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you at this seminar, you're going to have the skills you need and the basic knowledge you need after 4 hours of training to go out there and make it happen. And I'm serious about that. So make sure you come to this workshop. Make sure you find out what it is that I deem is very important. It's only $99, okay? I'm not asking for $25,000. I'm asking for $99. Come spend an afternoon with me. Let's get to know each other. And let me show you one of the most amazing things about real estate investing. Nowadays, when I want to get a loan for a piece of property, I literally pick up the phone. I make a couple of phone calls. Deal done. I got the money. I don't fill out applications. I don't wait a month and a half to get approved. I don't give my credit report. I don't give all this incredibly useless piles of information so that I can be inspected from head to toe to decide whether or not a bank is going to lend me money. That's a pain in the ass, a ridiculous way, and I wouldn't recommend it for anybody to be signing those papers at settlement. I'm going to show you how to draft papers that secure your private lender and secure you to make sure it's a successful deal for both of you. Don't forget to check out my meetings. Don't forget to put your name and email address in at addictedtorealestate.com so you can get these free web TV shows. All right, I'm Phil Falcone, and thanks for choosing Addicted to Real Estate as your method of education in the real estate investing business. I appreciate it, and I'm going to live up to your expectations. Thanks.